Hey everyone, welcome to this video lesson in which I'm going to break down Kyle Tuttle's banjo breaks on building the Lowground. I'll have the video linked below from which I transcribed this. This is some pretty wild solos. We got some single string stuff, we got some melodic stuff, we got inside rolls and secondary dominance and chromatic things, and it's pretty fast to boot, but there's a lot we can learn. It's a lot of fun. This one really appealed to me as a guitar player because I feel like it kind of opens the fretboard up in a way that I would maybe go approach it as a guitar player but not as a banjo. So I think there's a lot to learn here. So I'm going to play through it. There's 2 breaks, and then we're going to go line by line through the tablature and talk about the techniques and how to think about these, or how he might be thinking about it when he goes through it. Unfortunately, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm only going to upload to the end of the first break on YouTube. The whole video with both breaks will be available on my Patreon. So once you've mastered the first break, you can check out my Patreon for the second break. The PDFs of the tab and a lead sheet will be available there. The last thing I should say is if you don't know how to play this tune, you should learn it first, probably before tackling this solo. I have an arrangement that I've made a video lesson for both guitar and banjo, so check that out if you're interested. Anyways, let's try this solo out. So I just right before this recorded some guitar. Let's see if I can play along with that guitar so I can get a video going. Oh, what happened to it? Okay, I'm really hoping that I played okay, and I'm hoping that I counted myself in good. Let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, a little sloppy, but I'm going to blame it on the guitar player. It's kind of messing me up. Alright, anyways, let's jump right into learning this. A couple things we should mention. Let's talk really quickly about the form. So the A section is just a C chord going to an A minor, then a C chord going to A minor, G, C. That repeats. The B section is essentially the same thing, except instead of A minor, we have an F. Now, an F and an A minor are very similar chords. You can pretty much do a lot of the same things on each one, but it gives us another option to kind of add a little bit more complexity in the B section. So we'll talk about that when we get into it. So let's take a look at this first line. Okay, so something that might make this easier, and we'll relate these again and again and again, is to see the chord shapes that we're kind of imagining when we're playing this. So this first line starts with a C, and we're actually starting here kind of based on this barre shaped C at the 5th fret, and then we move quickly up to this kind of C shape, this F shaped C. So if you can see those, that'll help, and I'll reference those as we go along. So I'll put that up. Okay, so this first line sounds like this. Right? Most of this is just kind of like a C major scale, and we can kind of follow this. The hard part is switching the positions here. So there I'm seeing this one, and then when I go up here, I'm up and now I'm in kind of this other C section. Right, so it's that position switch where we switch up with our middle finger here. I should mention that this is all single string, so if I'm on one string, I'm just alternating between my thumb and my index finger. Now when I get to these high notes, now Now this is something I pretty much never do in my own playing single string on the first string, but if you do get to this, I find it easier to just alternate between your middle finger and your thumb for any line that's on the first string. Let's check out that second line. So now here we're very much in this F position still, and we do this chromatic thing where we pretty much take every note. I'll play through it. We're ending up in this D-shaped C here up at the 12th fret. But we're doing this chromatic thing where we're kind of enclosing the notes. Right? Cool. Right? Again, same sort of thing that we're doing, just all thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb, index. If you see these positions, that can really help. This here is an A minor chord. C, right on that beat, right? This is almost maybe a mistake here at the end. I often, when I was playing this, I want to go 5-1, but 4-1, that's what we have. Let's take a look at this next line. So this is a really cool melodic line here where something you could probably never even do way down the neck because it's a big stretch. But we have... It's basically a C major pentatonic. You can kind of think of it as a C pentatonic starting on this A, which is super cool. Or an A minor pentatonic is maybe a better way of thinking, right? A, C, E, A, C, D, E, and then way up to the G, which is super cool. But yeah, down here it gets tough. But this is a really nice thing because we're playing in C and A minor a lot on the banjo, so you can get a lot of use out of that. Anyways, let me play this. All right, I'm going to leave those last two notes for a second. Really, we have that cool pentatonic thing. And then we have these A minor shapes. We slide into this A minor shape, just like the A minor down here, but 12 frets higher. And then we slide down to this A minor shape, which is like a D shape, right? The tough thing here is to make sure that you're sliding with a finger that's going to help you to get the chord. So that first one's middle finger. That one is index finger. Okay. Now we have this melodic line, and we're doing this melodic line here in this position where our middle finger is on the 10th fret here. And we actually start with our thumb up here to get this, it's like the 5th fret on the 5th string. So we get this, right? Just these two notes. Now, this is a really common melodic shape. We'll see this again and again. Middle finger and index finger on the first two strings. Okay, so these two notes, keep going. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's wrong on my sheet of paper. Let me play that line one more time. So it's... Yeah, so I gotta fix some things from where I'm reading it. So this cool little melodic line, basically it's just a pattern of 4, right? Right, this kind of flat 3 on the minor sounds on the major chord. Right, and just this line up at the beginning. I really like this, like... And it happens a couple times in the solo, so check it out. Okay, let's take a look at the next line. Okay, so here, this is a really common guitar trick. It works really well on the banjo as well. So we go into this C chord shape. Let me play it first. Right? Now, we see this C shape here, right? Our bar shaped C. On the top, we have the 3rd and the 5th, the E and the G note. Now, anytime you've got the 3rd and the 5th of a chord, it's you want to do a 7th sound, you just move the whole thing up 2 frets. So we do this on a G if we were here. We could do it on a D if we wanted to here, right? Or even on the other string shape, right? We got G here. But here we're going from this C sound, moving this up 2 frets. We got C7, right? You can actually picture it as an F shape with the bar there. So C, C7, then we do the same thing on the F. F, F7. So that's the whole line on the right hand, or the left hand. But the right hand is essentially just doing a Foggy Mountain breakdown roll. So you get this... This one's kind of interesting because, right, hitting that fifth string with the thumb again is something I haven't really done much of. It's essentially just the same as a standard Foggy Mountain breakdown roll, and then here, so this is kind of interesting of hitting that same note a couple times. Really interesting, and then sliding into the third of this C chord here, the D-shaped C. So keep going, we have this C. Alright, so this is just kind of like a minor pentatonic line. Right, we have this little minor kind of dominant sound, I guess anyways, and then we have these like encircling the third. So we have this F-shaped C. Circling the third is a really cool tune, sound that we get all the time. So when we do this, right, that can be a little bit tough because the double stop that we do, we have to bring that middle finger up to the second string. So we're getting this kind of inside, it's not a roll, but we're bringing the middle finger inside to get that. So that can be a little tough if you've never done that before. Okay, now we've got a nice melodic lick here, starting on what essentially is like an E minor pentatonic lick. Where are we? Oh, no, sorry, we've got this C major 7 thing. Alright, okay, so yeah, this is kind of cool. This is essentially the same sort of thing that we were doing on the with the A minor pentatonic, but we're doing it in G, which is kind of an interesting sound because we're really getting that major 7 on the C. You could get the flat 7 here, which is actually probably more common on a chord like this, but this C major 7 is very like bright. It really struck me the first time I heard it. I'm like, oh, really major 7-y. Very interesting. I love this going into this F chord. It's just an F chord shaped F with the slide on the middle finger. And then we go to this F7 by barring. What? Then the C again, hammering on here. Oh. Right? Essentially the same lick at the end bar that we've already gone through in the 4th line. This is always a little interesting, getting that pull off. Right? Well, there's nothing too advanced in that final line there. Okay, now before I go on with the second break and talk through it, because that's only going to be available on the Patreon video, so sorry about that, but work on this one. Let me just play through this one time slow so you can kind of see it with the tab and hear it. This is what this sounds like, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Good luck. Enjoy playing through that first break. Now,